A viral bit of misinformation floated across the Twitterverse recently.
I am shocked. Shocked! Well, not that shocked.
This map, which of course is just a map of the Mediterranean Sea superimposed on that of the United States, circulated purporting to show the dire consequences that would befall our civilization within 30 years if we don't do something about global warming. Climate change. Now, got people worked into a lather, which is always fun to see, but it's also important to note why this joke takes off. Because this is the type of silly hysteria that has been preached at us from the global warming crowd for decades. In fact, we were warned in 1989 about this very thing. Disappearing countries if we didn't stop global warming. They gave us until the year 2000. Just FYI. Now, the timing of all of this is quite appropriate, since a bunch of world leaders and their expensive entourages have descended recently upon both the UK and Rome to talk about this ongoing crisis. Before it started, they all collectively stood in front of a giant fountain and tossed a coin over their shoulders for good luck. There's a lot of meaning there. A bunch of world leaders blindly tossing money into the air, hoping it'll somehow solve problems. If that isn't the state of our world's governments, I don't know what is. But after the coin toss, this dynamite crew got right down to their scintillating work. In a clear demonstration of just how vital all of this work is, notice how our own representative to this meeting of the minds, Joseph Biden, was just overwhelmed by the gravity of the situation.
This conference is one of the most important meetings in history. You have a chance to make decisions and reach agreements to prepare lives for generations to come.
Joe just couldn't take it. I mean, this is scary stuff. Carbon emissions that lead to climate change, that stuff is so serious that about 400 carbon-belching private jets flew into Scotland this last weekend carrying all of these wealthy elites so that they can sit around and discuss how to stop you from emitting so much carbon. Burning more fossil fuels in one evening than you and your family do in a year, these geniuses are hard at work figuring out a way to limit your home thermostat, jack up the travel costs of your once every 2 years family vacation, and to lock the third world in an unindustrialized state of poverty. It's all for the best. I know it seems unfair. I mean, why deny the miracle of fossil fuel energy to developing nations when these caviar-consuming clowns burn them freely to power their 3 mansions, 5 vacation homes, yacht and private jet fleet, and their special climate change motorcade like President Biden's here. That's a lot of cars and a lot of carbon. So how is it fair? Well, there's a very complex scientific answer to it. Here's Joe Biden to explain.
High energy prices only reinforce the urgent need to diversify. We don't remain overly reliant on one source of power to power our economies and our communities.
Got it? I mean, who among us can listen to that eloquent and lucid and articulate explanation and not think to themselves, this is exactly who I want in charge of telling my family how much energy we can use. And please, when they order you to turn off your air conditioners, to stay confined to your towns and homes, just like they did with COVID, remember, it's for public health. It's for your own good. And when you notice that they're continuing to fly their jets and live in their luxury and self-indulgence, just like they got their hair done when you couldn't, ate at restaurants that you couldn't, went maskless when you couldn't, don't object to it. It's science. You know, from COVID to climate, it's funny how science always seems to work out so well for those in power and so poorly for those who aren't.